Hello, guys. Welcome back to episode 67. As always, Sunny Bonani Dumalang on afternoon. Bon dia. So, for the last 2 days, I have been documenting and posting about my fast, of which I embarked and started on a 108-hour water only fast. And if you've seen my previous episodes, the two before this one, you'll know that I make reference to the fact that this isn't the first time I'm fasting. So I'm not a newbie at experiencing this experience, but I am a newbie at documenting the process on this channel, on this YouTube little clip, since I've started my daily vlogs. So yes, if you saw yesterday's episode, wow, you would have seen that I was feeling immensely tender, and I made reference to the fact that I had a pressure headache and my rest was very restless, and I spent pretty much the whole day cocooning and resting outside in nature under the tree with the sunlight just kissing me ever so gently. And I guess, yes, today I'm feeling so much better. So sometimes when I fast, it usually happens between day 2 and day 3, that there's a bit of a pressure headache. I feel sometimes quite nauseous. Sometimes I actually throw up. There's nothing to throw up, but I'll throw up some water, or there'll be bile, or whatever needs to come out comes out. Emotions, feelings, should be amazed at what the body wants to eliminate when it's fasting. So yes, yesterday was a very tender day. I started to feel so much better towards the afternoon, and even when I made the video yesterday, I did feel so much better. Checking my sound here. And as time finds me here in the now, I am feeling really good. I've just finished a pretty powerful flow, a yoga flow, and the headache's completely gone. And yeah, I'm feeling really strong. I'm feeling really clear and focused and good. So between the hours of, I think it's around 40 hours into the fast, or perhaps a little bit more, there's tons of information and documentaries and research out there online. And I would so encourage you to go and do your research about fasting and what happens to the physical body as you fast, what happens to the mental mind as you fast, and what happens to your spiritual connection to source when you fast as well. There's a reason why Jeshua or Jesus or JC went into the desert for 40 days and 40 nights fasting. And if you embark on a fast, you'll completely understand the power and the mechanics behind it and why he embarked on it. But yes, for the purposes of today, let me just make reference to just what I'm experiencing. So yesterday evening, I really had a somewhat of a restless evening, a little bit better than the previous night, but I was like, I always find it interesting because when I fast, I don't go into like a deep state of rest. It's almost like you're lucid dreaming. Like, you're dreaming, but you allow the dream to continue. And that's exactly what I was feeling yesterday. And I almost felt like I was in a whole host of different dimensions. I don't know how else to explain that. I almost felt like my mind was about to like explode, because I felt like I was needing to be in so many different realms or places and spaces. I can't even really explain to you where I was or what I was doing, but I felt like my energy was really being like scattered or pulled a little bit. So it was quite interesting in terms of what it reveals itself and what comes up when you're fasting. And then when I woke up this morning, I was feeling a little tender because I didn't have a really good sound sleep. But I got up, did my lymphatic drainage exercises, and And yes, did what I always do with much vigor and with much clarity and confidence and focus. So those are some of the very powerful benefits that you get when you embark on a fast, especially when you're feeling these elements of having pushed past the toxicity and you start stepping into, it's almost like when the body starts to go into autophagy. Do your research about that. Go research autophagy. But when your body starts to go into autophagy, that's essentially when it starts to eat itself. And the body starts to eat away because the body is so fucking intelligent and so smart that it knows that it needs to start eating, because obviously it's not getting food and sustenance from somewhere. So it starts to eat all of the toxic and bad things that are within the body. So one of the core and key reasons why I started to embark on a fast was that I started to experience a lot of like aches and pains in my body. I am 46 years young, and yeah, the body starts to feel a little different. Things start to change in the hormonal structure and in the physical vessel. And I started to feel some aches and pains, especially in my lower back at the time. There was a lot going on in my life. And if you know anything about aches and pains being indicators of emotions within your own life, it's basically a telltale sign of what you're experiencing and what you're going through. Lower back pain is all around financial aspects and elements. So I was feeling very unsupported financially at that time, and hence I was experiencing a lot of discomfort on the lower part of my back. Another aspect and element, which I've touched on a couple of my other episodes, and I feel a calling to dedicate a specific episode to it, but when the time is right and the calling is heard, I started to develop a lump under my breast, and I started to get quite concerned about it. Went for a couple of checkups and all horror stories about it. And I became curious about healing it naturally, holistically, without going the very invasive routes of having it extracted or removed, or even having any biopsies or anything of the sort. And I really was called to, one of the things I was called to embark on was fasting. And I'm going to share this with you because it was such a powerful experience. When I initially started to fast, and fasting has been part of my world and life for the last 4 years, so it's been something that I've been embarking on quite frequently. And I generally tend to embark on a 3 to a 7 day fast every quarter. So when the seasons change, that's when I'm embarking on a fast. I'm eliminating and eradicating any dead old energy and cells and preparing and making way for the new season and the new energetics to arrive. And it was amazing for me when I started to fast, because when I was starting to fast, and particularly when my body was going into autophagy, after around, I think it starts to happen around 48 plus hours, that it starts to happen when the body starts to eat all the bad stuff in your body. I literally could feel that something was happening in my breast area. Like it was like a little itchy, a little bit of a pull, a little bit of a stretch. I could feel something was starting to happen. And to say that it was short of a miracle would be an understatement. I've experienced many miracles in my life with my own physical body. I've been diagnosed with illnesses and diseases that I've been able to heal myself. And I can just imagine some people are either rolling their eyes or saying utter bullshit or whatever, and that's all good. But you can only, I don't actually care what people say because I've experienced it myself, so I don't actually give a shit. And yes, I remember distinctly that feeling, especially at my breast at the time when I was going through a lot of stress and fear and turmoil about, you know, this thing that this lump, this bump. And fasting was one of the most powerfully transformative exercises, tools that I embarked on to help me through that. So not only did it purify my physical vessel and body, but it also offered and gave me clarity of mind. And it gave me the confidence to trust my body and trust the innate knowingness and wisdom that it has in healing itself. If it's given the right environment, if it's given the right conditions, if it's given the right support and nourishment, the physical vessel and the physical body will ultimately regenerate and heal itself. So I am quite passionate about this tool or this gift that I call fasting, because I've seen how it's literally healed me on a cellular level, and how it's given me this confidence to just trust in my own body. And more importantly, it's facilitated in the ability of me connecting with and into my body. So yes, there's a myriad of benefits that fasting offer. I feel I would be doing fasting a complete disservice if I started to try and rattle on about it. And initially, when I started my vlog, I used to very diligently show up with a pen and a paper with all my notes. And as beneficial as that was for me, and it was needed at the time because it gave me a sense of grounding and at least something to talk about. As these vlogs have continued and as they've grown, I have also grown, and I've become a little bit more confident in my delivery and just showing up in my raw, real, authentic state. But yes, there are a myriad of benefits that fasting will provide you. And it's definitely worthwhile going down that rabbit hole if you're interested at all. So yes, magical being, let's see if I'm being called to share anything else in this here and now moment as I check my sound one more time. Perhaps taking a nice deep breath just to center ourselves and center the energy. So one thing that I should reference is when I'm fasting, I generally like to fast at a time and in a space in my life where I'm literally able to cocoon and withdraw from the outside world. I find fasting for me is truly a sacred exercise, I guess, to embark on. And when I fast, I also don't know how I'm going to be feeling in that moment. Like I've shared in my previous 2 episodes, no 2 fasts for me are ever the same. There's always different emotional aspects and elements that arrive for you to work through. There's always different physical sensations and emotions that surface and make their way through and to you to work through. And because of that, I truly feel it's important for me to honor this gift and this time with self when I'm fasting. I've mentioned it before, but when I fast, I feel time moves completely differently. It's almost like things slow down. You become far more present and poised in the moment. there's no distractions. There's nothing, pulling you or numbing you or taking you away from the here now moment. It's amazing how just eliminating eating food or substances can have on your mental clarity and have on your physical vessel and have on your physical body, right? It's pretty profound and amazing, actually. I'm sure some of you are asking, but what does it like do? What does it make your body look like? Okay. So I must be honest, I don't do this to lose weight. So I don't fast to lose weight. I am already pretty, I'd say normal, okay, but I don't need to lose weight. I do fasting purely for the benefit of autophagy and the body going into a hyper cleansing mode where it's literally eating all the bad cells and all of that stuff that's inside the body that we sometimes don't even know is there until years and years have gone by, and then it reveals itself as a tumor or a cancerous cell or whatever it is, right? So I don't embark on fasting like some people do for weight loss. In fact, I feel like fasting because you want to lose weight is not the best tool to use. If you're wanting to lose weight, for me, it's meditation, it's exercising. That for me is the quintessential and the most important because it fosters discipline and it enables you to get out of the mind and get into the physical body. And so I really don't recommend fasting for someone who wants to lose weight. I recommend fasting for someone who wants to heal themselves, wants to cleanse themselves, both physically, mentally, and spiritually. I would recommend a fast for people who want to maybe foster greater discipline within their lives and within the energetics. I feel like those would be the key reasons as to embark in a fast, and weight loss would not be one of them. So yes, magical being. I see it's 17:33 on the timer. And I'm feeling like I've shared everything that I need to share for the purposes of this here now moment. I am probably around 50, what is it today? Today's day 3, so we're going towards 72 hours. So I'm probably like 65 hours into my 108-hour fast right now. And going good. It's going great. I'll see you tomorrow. As always, continue to sow those seeds. Allow for the flow and magic of life to find and guide you so that you may ultimately grow, illuminate, and glow. Check you for day 4 as I progress towards the 80s and the 90-hour mark and almost at the end of completing my fast. In fact, it will be the final day that I document my official fast because I'll be breaking it on Saturday morning with probably a delicious green smoothie followed by a nourishing and Moorish cappuccino and probably coupled with a yummy homemade soup and broth that will just be so yummy and so nourishing. So until tomorrow, stay magical.